They're not exactly.
The exhibition is called Hendrix in Britain, and we're very much focusing on Jimi's career in Britain, which is really where he made his name. As well as personal objects that belong to Jimi, we have, for example, pages of notes that he's made for lyrics. We have a really nice little scrap of paper on which he wrote directions for a friend of his to get to the Isle of Wight Festival. But as well as that, one of the things that we wanted to show was how hard Jimi worked here. It wasn't all Albert Hall and Isle of Wight Festival. So one of the displays we have has a complete list of every gig that Jimi ever did in this country, and it covers 2 walls and is really quite extraordinary. It's city after city, night after night, very often 2 shows a night, and really all done in the back of a van, not a kind of air-conditioned tour bus as he might have used today. Handel actually lived in the building next door, just the other side of this wall, number 25. At the time that Jimi lived here, there was a blue plaque on the wall outside commemorating Handel's residence here, but it did sit on the wall between the 2 buildings. So I understand that Jimi actually thought when they first moved in here that this was the building that Handel lived in. Other people thought that too. People used to come and ring on his doorbell, and he'd take them inside and show them around his flat, convinced he was showing them around Handel's house. He was certainly aware of the connection, and there was a record shop just across the road here, and he pretty much ran out there as soon as he found out and bought records of Handel's music. And we know he definitely had that because his LP collection still exists, and amongst the Handel works he had were the old favourites like the firework music and the water music. So yep, he listened to Handel and knew the connection. You know, he wasn't an overnight success. He worked really, really hard, and I think a lot of people forget that. So that's something we wanted to put across here. Also, we wanted to kind of, because this is the building in which he lived, we wanted to kind of touch on the man behind the music. I know that's a little cliche, but that's kind of what we wanted to look at. So objects that we have, like his work permit and various things in which he scribbled little notes and stuff like that, I think really give us a connection with the Jimi off stage that people don't really think about very much.
But he was pretty quiet. I mean, if he went to a party, he'd kind of just sit in the corner. He wouldn't seek to be the centre of attention, however flamboyant he came across. And he wasn't, you know, kind of the 60s archetypal druggie either, actually. I mean, everybody was bang at it in those days. So he certainly wasn't alone. So this kind of, you know, this icon of somebody who was swallowing drugs like they're going out of fashion, not entirely true. But that said, you know, a lot of the image of him as you know, a girl in every town and all that kind of stuff, actually that was pretty true.
Like they used to, which is a shame.
I hope it's not the reason that people will come to the exhibition, because really what we want to celebrate is an extraordinary life. But yes, I'm sure, you know, that a lot of the stories about his death and what we've heard about his death, it's kind of ripe for all sorts of conspiracy theories, as you say. The last exhibit we have in the exhibition is actually a certified copy of his death certificate. We make no comment on that, we just place it there. That's the coroner's verdict, and we'll leave it for our visitors to decide which of the versions that they are more interested in.
Just that. Just be looking interested.